The July sun blazed over Suva's harbor where Fijian dockworkers moved with practiced efficiency. Today, a new flag fluttered from the BRP Andres Bonifacio, a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, its arrival quiet but significant. This was no ordinary cargo ship. Pallets of farming equipment, medical supplies and water purification systems were unloaded, accompanied by Filipino engineers and agricultural experts. Their friendly chatter mingled with Fijian voices, creating an atmosphere of collaboration rather than commerce. The ship's presence was a symbol of a larger story: the Philippines' new strategy in the Pacific. For years, Manila was seen as a secondary player, overshadowed by superpowers and its own internal struggles. But beneath the surface, the Philippines has been quietly building influence across the Pacific, not through military might, but through partnership and shared history. The BRP Andres Bonifacio was more than a ship, it was a floating embassy of goodwill. Facing pressure in the South China Sea and caught between Washington and Beijing, the Philippines is now looking east, toward its Austronesian kin. Here it seeks not confrontation but cooperation. The arrival of that ship in Suva was a quiet announcement. A new player has emerged on the Pacific stage, one that speaks the language of the islands. The world may not have noticed, but a new chapter in Pacific history had just begun. The Philippines is forging a path defined by partnership, not dominance. This is a story of necessity and ambition, unfolding far from the glare of global headlines. In Suva's harbor, the future of Pacific diplomacy was quietly taking shape. The Pacific's next chapter had begun, and the Philippines was ready to help write it. The Philippines' connection to the Pacific Islands is ancient, rooted in the voyages of Austronesian seafarers who once crossed the world's largest ocean. These early navigators linked peoples from Madagascar to Easter Island, weaving a tapestry of shared language and culture. Colonialism fractured these bonds, pushing the Philippines west and the Pacific Islands south, obscuring their kinship. Now Manila is reviving these narratives, framing its engagement as a homecoming, a reunion of long-lost relatives. This approach is more than symbolic, it's a powerful diplomatic tool. Filipino diplomats speak of shared challenges as family, not outsiders, building trust that others struggle to match. Cultural exchange programs, academic collaborations, and shared traditions are being revived, strengthening these ties. By reminding the Pacific of its Austronesian roots, the Philippines is awakening a sense of collective identity. This is soft power at its most sophisticated, alliances built on heritage, not just interests. The future of the Pacific, Manila suggests, should be shaped by those who have always called it home. The Philippines' Pacific strategy stands on 4 pillars. First, its skilled workforce, nurses, teachers, engineers, are integral to Pacific communities, building goodwill at the grassroots. Second, Manila is expanding economic ties, investing in agriculture, fisheries, and renewable energy, and creating new trade corridors. Third, security cooperation, joint maritime patrols, disaster response training, and shared expertise in facing climate threats. Finally, vibrant cultural exchange, Filipino music, food, and art resonate across the Pacific, deepening bonds. These pillars create a network of trust and mutual benefit. The Philippines isn't just a partner, it's becoming a kindred spirit in the region. This strategy is about more than influence. It's about building a resilient, interconnected Pacific community. Through people, trade, security, and culture, Manila is weaving itself into the fabric of the Pacific. The result is a partnership that feels natural, not imposed. The Philippines' approach is redefining what it means to be a Pacific nation. The Philippines' Pacific pivot has unfolded quietly, overshadowed by the US-China rivalry that dominates global headlines. Media focus on superpower drama leaves little room for stories of regional cooperation. Outdated stereotypes still paint the Philippines as troubled and peripheral, ignoring its dynamic transformation. Manila's strategy is intentionally discreet, favoring quiet diplomacy and patient trust-building over grand gestures. This approach suits the Pacific, where relationships matter more than spectacle. The Philippines isn't seeking to dominate, but to be a reliable partner. As analysts debate great power moves, Manila is quietly changing the game, building a network of partners who share its vision for a Pacific free from coercion. The most profound changes often happen without fanfare. The Philippines' rise is a reminder that not all power is loud. For Pacific Island nations, the Philippines offers a compelling alternative to the binary choice between the West and China. Manila's partnership is rooted in shared identity and mutual respect, not dependency. Economically, it opens new markets and investments in sustainable sectors, empowering islands to diversify and grow. In security, the Philippines brings practical, relevant support, combating illegal fishing, transnational crime, and natural disasters with hard-won expertise. Most importantly, Manila respects sovereignty and cultural integrity, listening rather than dictating. This approach builds trust that is rare in international relations. For islands tired of being pawns, the Philippines offers partnership as family, not as overlord. It's a refreshing, empowering new path for the Pacific. The Philippines' Pacific ambitions face real challenges. Domestically, inequality, infrastructure gaps, and political reform remain pressing issues. Without internal strength, Manila's influence abroad will falter. Climate change is a constant threat, demanding resources and attention that could limit regional engagement. Navigating US-China tensions is a delicate balancing act. One misstep could drag the Philippines back into great power rivalry. There's also the risk of overreach. Manila must match its ambitions with realistic capabilities. Spreading resources too thin could undermine its credibility. Success will require focus, patience, and a clear-eyed understanding of limits. The Philippines must build incrementally, prioritizing impact over breadth. Sustaining its rise means balancing ambition with prudence. The BRP Andres Bonifacio's arrival in Suva was an invitation, a call for Pacific nations to shape their own destiny. The Philippines has laid the foundation. Now the region must build on it with vision and purpose. This means moving from ad hoc deals to deeper, institutionalized cooperation. Imagine a Pacific-led trade agreement or a regional security council, empowering island nations to speak with one voice. The first step, a summit between the Philippines and the Pacific Islands Forum, crafting a concrete roadmap for collaboration. Priorities could include climate research, infrastructure investment, university exchanges, and standardized maritime security. The goal, a web of interlocking interests that makes the partnership indispensable. The lone Philippine ship in Suva should inspire action, a future where the Pacific charts its own course. The Austronesian family can reunite, building a shared, secure, and prosperous home. The journey has begun. It's up to all Pacific nations to navigate toward that hopeful shore together.